victories in that 65 machine. The 1C of Steve Kent also having a very good year last season here at the Hagerstown Speedway. 3 victories in semi-late competition. As one of our drivers head on by, that blue 89, Josh Baumgartner out of Petersburg, Pennsylvania. The 15 on track here on the front straightaway.
15, check your transponder. I've got no hit on you then.
Mentioned Fowles jumping up into the semi-late division last year. 6 feature event victories in pure stock competition here. And there's now the 10th machine coming by here on the front straightaway.
All right, driver's going to speed it up. Green, green, green.
Stretch, car slow on the front stretch.
Just a year ago, always in threat here at the Speedway. Coming up for the semi-late drivers, and they'll warm up once again. They'll go through the time trial process when they make their way back onto track in just a little bit. Late Model Sportsman, you will be up next for your warm-up. Late Model Sportsman drivers, you can wrap it up. I-15, Rick Potter, he comes away, use the top time.
All right, speed it up. Green, green, green.
So Taylor Farley, top dog in round number 1 of warm-ups as the second group makes its way out. Danny Atherton was second. Now
151, the two-time feature winner a year ago. Zekman in the number 2. He's currently third on the board and tops of this group that's out on the track right now as he works off at turn number 2. Again, good field of great late models for their season opener here at Hagerstown Speedway. 17 strong. They'll be making their way out onto the track in just a few moments. White flag out for the second group of Late Model Sportsmen, and as always, the 151 of Kyle Lear, very strong. He moves up to the top of the board in this group, second overall. 19 of Danny Allard and the 28 of Ryan Zook. And then you got the 2 of Booz as well as Zekman. They're up there in the rundown. As we get one final car, a few laps of warm-ups before we wrap the crates up. We do thank everybody for your patience during the off-season. Hagerstown Speedway made some major upgrades to the PAs, and as you can tell, things have kind of been up and down and all around a little bit, but our guys are working their tails off trying to fine-tune everything between our music and also the levels on the PA system. But we do have a new one that's also aiding the drivers down in the infield area. We're also broadcasting on 89.9 on your FM station once again this year. So we'll get everything ironed out, hopefully for the balance of today. But again, hopefully that gives you a better listening experience as we get set for some fast-paced racing action. Races this year. As we get set for qualifying, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you can please rise as you are able, as we will deliver our invocation to be followed by our national anthem. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you so very much for this beautiful day that you've given us. Many of us, no matter where we live in this great state of Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, and other areas that we've come from, we've endured a very tough winter, a little tougher than what we've had in the past, but you kept us all safe. You kept us hoping that we would be able to return at some time in March to be back with each other, to enjoy each other as racing friends and family, enjoy racing here at the Hagerstown Speedway, and we are so very grateful for that. We are also proud and very grateful for all of our military and the service that they are providing us all over the world and in our own country. Please keep them safe. Our thanks out to the many first responders. There have been so many great tragedies and things that have happened, not only in our area, but so many parts of this country and in our world, in which we are so grateful to have the first responders right on the spot that give tirelessly their efforts to make sure that everybody is safe and return back to their families and friends, and we thank you for all of that. Today, as we embark on our first race of many in the 2025 racing season at Hagerstown, we're thankful for all of our officials. Please keep them safe, all of our drivers, our crew members, and everybody who have so faithfully supported us to begin our new season here at the Speedway. Please let them have a wonderful racing experience today. Let us all have that. Please keep us safe on our journeys back home, and please give us the opportunity to return next Saturday to enjoy each other again as friends and racing family. In your gracious name, we pray. Amen. Winner a year ago in the 78 machine of Pure Shots, making the jump up into the simulates. He will be one of the first drivers out in qualifying the Knoxville, Maryland machine as he heads off of turn number 2 and gets ready to get up to speed.
two-time feature winner Dylan Wilson from a year ago. The Escape Cannon, great move going in semi-action this past season.
Go to the scales. If you don't go to the scales, you will be disqualified. 3D to the scales.
So right now the 30 burning up at Hagerstown. He is the next one. Simulate time trials this afternoon. Everybody still pretty much in and that will put Brady in the number 5 position.
Sportsman time trials officially underway this afternoon. The B2 of Brian Booz, a two-time feature winner in great late model action a year ago, is going to be stepping up into the Late Model Sportsman division. 28Z Ryan Zook, number 2 man in points a year ago in Late Model Sportsman. He is also on track as Booz works it back for the checkered flag, and he'll get things started off here this afternoon. .502 will kick things off for Brian Booz in the B2. The 28Z of Ryan Zook still looking for that first Late Model Sportsman win as he works it down into turn number 3 and 4. Zook back to the stripe. He'll be at 21.405. That will put him tops on the board for the moment. With the 14, Cody Breeden in Fair Play, Maryland. Now making his way out onto the racetrack for his one-lap session. 11 of Jackson Garman and of Elliotsburg, Pennsylvania, also heading out onto the track as Breeden makes it back to the line. 21.413 will be his time. That will put him number 2 on the board behind Ryan Zook right now. Getting the 11 of Jackson Garmin from Elliotsburg, PA. He is next driver out for his one-lap session. 32X of Brian Bent looked like he did have some mechanical issues. One car has been put on the trailer, so tough break for the Claysburg, Pennsylvania driver. As the 11 of Garmin makes it back to the stripe, 21.466 will be number 2 so far in qualifying, making number 3 for Jackson Garmin. Scheduled to go next, a 25 of Andy Anderson, and I know Andy popped out early and then right into the pit area. Now he's getting to push out onto the racetrack, so not having a chance yet to really get some good quality laps under his belt. So now Anderson is up to the gearbox and sees what he can do. The opening day crate late model winner a year ago. Son Braden Anderson going to be behind the wheel of the car when the crates come out for their heat races as Andy takes the green flag. Right now, Ryan Zook tops on the board, and again, problems persist for Anderson. You can hear it in turn number 1 and 2, and he ducks off into the back pit area. And 5.56 of Eric Cronies, I believe, also had some problems when he initially came out for warm-ups, and he also comes to a stopover in turn number 2 once again. Cronies gets the push and now makes his way off at turn number 4 for the green flag. Cronies wound up 10th in our Late Model Sportsman points last season. The Boonesboro, Maryland driver making his way off at turn number 4. Checker now for the 5.56. Cronies swing at 22.409, which right now will have him in the number 5 spot in qualifying. The 19 of Danny Allerton, new paint scheme for the Three Springs, Pennsylvania driver. Came home with the number 5 spot in the Late Model Sportsman points 1 season ago. Danny, always strong runner here at the Hagerstown Speedway. Another one searching for that first Late Model Sportsman win as he peels it off at turn number 4. And back to the strike for the checkered flag. Atherton going to be at 21.871, and that will put him at number 5. The one driver that did 5 victory lane not once but twice last year. That's the 70J of DJ Myers out of Greencastle, Pennsylvania. 2 times a winner. Member of that famed Myers family. Keeps that famed 70 alive as he works it back through turn number 3 and 4. Coming back for the checkered. Myers will be a 22.191, which will have him in the number 6 spot. Another famed family name, the 2 of Dan Zimmerman of Littlestown, Pennsylvania. He'll be your latest Late Model Sportsman driver out for qualifying. Freight Late Models, heat race number 1. You can make your way to the staging area. Freight Late Model drivers, heat race number 1 to the staging area, please. Zimmerman, 21.412, good lap as he moves up into the number 2 spot behind Ryan Zook. As 16H of Clinton Hirsch out of Somerset, Pennsylvania, taken to the track for his 1-lap session. So Zekman tucks in behind Zook. Right now, the 14 of Cody Breen remains in the number 3 spot. Jackson Garmin in 4th, and Ryan moves the top 5 in Late Model Sportsman action. 16 of Hirsch is lap. Looking for it for the Hirsch machine is Pat McNeil's 000 out of Essex, Maryland, takes to the Speedway right now. And no transponder hit on the 16H of Clinton Hirsch. So we'll check into that as McNeil works the 000 off at turn number 4. Checkered out for this driver. And McNeil's going to be at 22.408 right now. That's 8th on the board. Driver that was fastest in warm-ups today, the 8F of Taylor Farley in Newville, Pennsylvania, off at turn number 2. Freight Late Models, heat race number 1. Freight Late Models, heat race number 1. Drivers, you can make your way to the staging area. Farley wins the 8 back to the stripe. And for Taylor, 21.555. That will put him in the number 6 qualifying spot. Yoder in the 34D at Valensville, Pennsylvania. One of the final few drivers in late models to qualify this afternoon. Great late model heat race number 1 coming up in a few moments. Yoder back to the stripe, 34D, 21.866. He'll be number 7 in our qualifying, and what looks to be our final driver today, the 151, Kyle Lear out of Severna Park, Maryland, two-time Late Model Sportsman winner in 2024. Mentioned Late Model Sportsman's had a ton of different winners last year. Very, very tough division as Lear works his way off in turn number 4. Checker down for the Severna Park, Maryland driver. And Lear with a 21.226 tops on the board this afternoon in Late Model Sportsman time trials.
Great items they have available today.
Transponder issues hopefully repaired. Clint Hersha, the 16H, takes back to the racetrack to be our final Late Model Sportsman driver. Right now trying to top the time at 21.226 set by Kyle Lear as Hirsch grabs the green flag. Clint Hirsch back to the stripe. His time, 22.3 seconds flat for the driver of the 16. And that will wrap up the Late Model Sportsman time trials today.
Yes, we'll do it right now.
As we get set, our first actual race of 2025, first heat race, the Booz Brothers Performance. Crate Late Models getting set to go down the back straightaway. In the 40S of Scott Sweeney Jr., the 27 of Kyler Upperman. 6 laps of distance here in our first of 2 Crate Late Model events. Field stacked up off the 4th turn. It's going to be the green in the air from head flagger Calvin Davis as they work it down the front straightaway, and Sweeney bolts out early and grabs that lead. Side by side for a second. Going to be Booz to the inside. Good run down bottom with a 72 of Trevor Collins. And a good bite is always good on the bottom side of turn 2 at this track. And he almost makes it a 3-wide battle for that number 2 spot. For the moment, Booz has got it as he fends off Upperman and grabs that 2nd spot. Collins right there in 4th. And the 14 of Chuck Bowie, the early top 5. Upperman loops it around.
Hello. Stay high in 2. Stay high in 2.
Caution, number 1 will be off for the 27 of Upperman. And possible problems with the 05 of Roy Dees as he draws out a line and heads it off into the back pit area. Tough break for the Laurel, Maryland driver. Moving into our Crate Late Model class. Multi-time Late Model track champion here at Hagerstown. They'll stack up 2 by 2 as we get set. 1 lap of our 6 complete. Sweeney protecting that bottom side as best he can. Car can't quite hold down to the bottom, and here comes Trevor Collins. The way is up into the Seaford Delaware machine. The 72 looking to get to the inside. He'll grab the lead down in turn 3 and 4. Sweeney back to 2nd in his tire tracks, and the high groove off of that 4th turn. Going to be the 14 of Chuck Greenhow into 3rd. Booz in 4th, and the 27 of Upperman rebounding past a couple of cars back up into the top 5. 11 of McBee and 6 Dotson holding on to the number 7 spot as Upperman still trying to move up another spot, putting the pressure on Booz as it'll be Collins opening up the lead at halfway. 3 in the books and 3 to go. Upperman getting around the Booz machine moments ago. That'll put him up into the number 4 spot. He's got a little bit of distance to gather up Chuck Bowie as the leaders work their way back into 3 and 4. 2 laps to go here in heat race number 1. Everybody distanced amongst each other. Big gap between each car. Right now, Collins with a good 15-20 car length advantage over Sweeney as a Delaware machine comes back for the white flag. Sweeney still in second. Bowie a comfortable third. Booze trying to close on Upperman, but that gap's still about 5 or 6 car lengths with Upperman fourth and Booze in the top 5. In Late Models, heat race number 2. You should be in the staging area. Final lap in turn 3 and 4. As the shadows hit that high groove of turn number 4, Trevor Collins checking in for the Late Model heat race win. Going to be Scott Sweeney coming up in second. Chuck Bowie, Kyler Upperman rebounding up into fourth, and the B2 of Mason Booze, Mason Booze, excuse me, rounding out the top 5. Driver 6 laps of distance. Whit. And Braden Anderson, the 25 on that outside. His dad Andy took the opening day Crate Late Model win a year ago. Braden looking to see if he can do it this year. Good field of Crate Late Models in heat race number 2 as we get set for the green flag. It'll be Whit, the 33, grabbing the lead off of turn number 2. The 137 of Brandon right there. Brandon stuffs it down to the bottom side. Right in there, but couldn't quite touch. He couldn't get on to fend it off. And here's on by a couple of Collings. Anderson, the 25. He'll be third on lap number 1. It'll be Triton Lee back there in fourth. 33 of Jared Edwards right now, the early top 5. Single foul for everybody down the back straightaway on this lap. It's the number 1 spot, Jacob Wood, coming in third in the series points a year ago. And trying to hold off the efforts on that 137. Devin Brannon putting plenty of pressure on him. Staying to those tire tracks, only about a couple of car lengths separation. Anderson in the 25, comfortably in third. Likewise for Lee in fourth. Edwards holding on to fifth. Here goes Brannon to the outside, looking for the lead. Here at halfway. Just probing a little bit on the 33 of Jacob Wood. And for Devin Brannon, he finds it and powers to the outside and now grabs the number 1 spot. Pure Stocks for your qualifying. You can make your way to the staging area. Pure Stock drivers for your time trials to the staging area, please. So Devin Brannon takes it to the go side and heads off into the sunset just a little bit. Now it's going to be Jacob Wood under attack by Brannon. The 25 will make it Anderson as he pulls to within a car length down the back straightaway. 2T of Trayton Lee and then the 43 of Jared Edwards remaining the top 5. And here comes Brannon back to the stripe. The model is on for second. It's over as quickly as we mentioned it. 25 of Anderson. He'll grab it off turn number 4. Out for Devin Brannon, the 137. Very impressive win starting on the outside of row number 2 and collecting the second Crate Late Model win. 25, Braden Anderson rebounded after starting second, dropped the spot, came back to finish in the runner-up honors. 33 of Jacob Witt, the 2T of Trayton Lee, and the 43 of Jared Edwards, the top 5 in Crate Late Model heat race number 2. All right, Pure Stock drivers will be our final class to go through the qualifying process today. 9 drivers on hand. They'll go through their one-lap time trial here in a few moments, led out by the defending track champion, that being the number 8 of Keith Reed out of Hagerstown. Keith coming away with 4 feature event victories, among them the 2024 Hub City National, one of the most prestigious races for their class, and he takes to the track. The 80 Keith Reed working his way back. He'll set the bar for qualifying this afternoon. As a 62 of Dylan Beaver is also out there. 25.417 will be the early lap time for Keith Reed. Beaver's in the 62. There was a way to have some bad luck. Dylan found it, or it found Dylan last year, so he's hoping all of that's wiped out, and driver none more deserving of having himself a good season than this 62 driver out of Hedgeville, West Virginia. As he brings his way back across the stripe, checkered flag is out for Beavers. Dylan's going to be at 25.675. That'll put him second right now. 31 being powered by Nathaniel Yonker at Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, one-time feature winner in the 2024 season. 20 of Bradley Benton out of Duncansville, Pennsylvania, also will be making his way out for his qualifying run. 31 of Yonker, a lap will be 25.452. That will put him in the number 2 spot. As a 20 of Bradley Benton takes the green flag for his one-lap qualifying run. Well, the opening day winner a year ago, looking to see if he can repeat that performance. A 17, I should say, of Randy Lindenberg in Winchester, Virginia, also taking to the track. As Bradley Benton brings the number 20 back to the stripe for his checkered flag today. 26.781 will be the lap time as a 17L of Lindenberg back to the stripe. We mentioned Reed, he had 4 wins. We mentioned Faust, 6 wins a year ago. He bumped up into the semi-lates. Yonker had 1. Lindenberg, the opening day winner. Jason Wilkins, the only other winner in pure stock action. It was quite a bit of multiple wins in a few different camps last year. So Randy Lindenberg also did miss a few races last year, but he is back on hand. But his checkered flag is out for the 17L. He'll be at 25.555, and that'll put Randy right now in the number 3 spot. 32 on track, 32F. That'll be Tyler Fisher, or excuse me, Robert Wilson out of Clearbrook, Virginia. Fisher in the 32F. He will also be out in a few moments. Tyler had a good warm-up session earlier today. Right now, everybody chasing that popular number 8, Keith Reed. Very familiar spot for the Hagerstown driver. Tops on the board as Wilson brings it back to the stripe. And he'll be at 25.969 right now. Puts him 5th in qualifying. 32F of Tyler Fisher didn't get a victory last year. Had been finished in the top 5 in the Pure Stock Series points, 85th. And another one very hungry for his first Pure Stock win. Checkered coming down for Fisher, the Fair Play Maryland driver, and his lap is going to be at 25.525. Which will have him 4th. So for the moment, Keith Reed, Nathaniel Yonker, Robert Wilson, Randy Lindenberg, and Dylan Beaver, as they are the top 5 in qualifying. 77, Bryson Fogel out of Myersville, Maryland. He looks to be our final driver in qualifying today. Got the redraw coming up. Let me drop my microphone down so I don't blow you all out. We're going to start off with our Late Model Sportsman top qualifier, Kyle Lear. Things are looking good. Car, you saved the best for last. We saved the best car for last, apparently. In time trials, you snuck out there, and you got that number 1 spot. How's she looking?
We're looking good. We obviously didn't have a good day pulling in here drawing the pill. So, we took advantage of the time trials, and you know, we tightened our car up because we knew we were going out last, and it paid off.
I know it can be a challenge when we start a racing season. A lot of times, obviously, we start in the daytime. We're going to have a lot of night races here. What is the biggest challenge for you on a very windy day? Not a whole lot of sun, but it does challenge this track very much, as it has for you guys trying to make your adjustments in the pits.
Well, the track's going to, you know, be super dry. Obviously, we all know that coming in here. The biggest thing is it's not coming apart. So hopefully that trend stays the same. And you know, the practice sessions they've had up here this year has been awesome. So I'm thinking it's going to stay smooth. And you know, the transition when the rubber comes in later is going to play a big factor. And whoever finds the rubber first and can stay in it, that'll probably win you your race.
By the way, folks, wish Kyle a happy birthday. It was his birthday just a few days ago. Happy birthday, Kyle Lear. All right, go ahead and do the redraw. If you can't see that die, I don't know who's going to see him. Oh, number one. Trevor, good to see you back here at Hagerstown Speedway. I know you do a little bit of travel, but crates and the super late models, always a pleasure to see you here. And of course, down at Potomac Speedway and over in your Delaware native area. Glad to have you with us today. Things look very good for you in that first heat race.
Yeah, things were going pretty good. We had to change the carburetor after hot laps. We were having problems with that. We're still having a little bit of problems getting it running right, but hopefully for this feature we can turn it around and get it running good.
I know it's the beginning of the season, and of course you guys try to map out exactly where you're going. A lot of things going on in the area. What's your plans this year between the crate and what we see in a super late model again this season?
Yeah, we're going to run probably most of Jim's Appalachian Speed Weeks and Fall Clash, and just pick and choose in here and there where we're going to run. We're going to run all of Georgetown and places like that around home.
Well, we look forward to seeing you. Glad you're here. We've got a Delaware boy over here with us today. Go ahead and roll that dice and let's see where you wind up.
Thank you.
All right, Trevor Collins tops in our crates, and number 5 for Trevor Collins. Okay. Mr. Brannon, a very good move in that heat race. Or who am I trying to tell? That was a different one. Time trials.
That was the son.
All right, Devin did good. This is Alan, right?
That's Devin. I'm Alan.
You're Alan. So many Brannons to keep up with. Thanks for coming out here this afternoon. The car looks great. Number 1, great paint scheme. It looks like you backed it up with a good performance out there earlier today.
Yeah, just over here having a little bit of fun.
You like this dice deal? You saw what Kyle did. You think he got the wrist action where it maybe played with the wind where you can get that number 1 again?
I don't know how many pills in that bucket.
I don't know. That's up to Josh. We're going to let you go ahead and roll that dice right now.
How many pills in that bucket?
6.
He's going to draw. And what's he end up with? Oh, number 1. Ends up with a number 1. All right. Thank you very much, Alan. And Keith Reed, a name I've seen, a person I've talked to quite often, back with us again. I got to ask you a question before we get into Keith. Is Blake going to be racing with us this year?
Yes, he is. We have a timeshare in Utah, and the family is skiing in Utah.
Did you? All right. So, do you feel like you drew the short straw, or you made out on this weekend? Because is this what you want to do, or would you rather be skiing?
Well, I got some bad news. I'm here this week and next week, and then I'm out for a while for a knee replacement.
Oh my goodness! Oh lordy!
So Blake's going to have to carry the torch for the 18.
Well, he's got big shoes to fill. But you know what? He looked very strong towards the tail end of the season. I'm sure there's a lot of tutelage coming from Dad there. You've already gotten off to a very good start with your qualifying here today. I know you're going to be out for a little bit, but I know we can never, whether it's a repaired knee or a knee that needs repairing on either side, that number 8's always one to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and I was waiting for you to give me a call because I saw a bunch of, what was it, crabs or oysters?
Oh, yes, okay. You could have guilted me, yeah. Last Saturday I'm eating oysters and, yeah, I'll drinking a few adult beverages. Keith, best of luck with the knee replacement. Glad you're here right now. Go ahead and take your pick on what you want to do.
All right, ready?
Oh, that number 1 is looking low. Oh, there he went. Oh, that is pretty good. Keith, good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, Keith Reed, our defending champion in pure stock action here at Hagerstown Speedway. Going to take a brief pause, folks. Go ahead and grab yourself a bite to eat or drink. We'll be back with our Simulate feature shortly. All right, set for the first feature event of the 2025 season here at the capital of dirt track racing. Semi-lanes off turn number 4, and green flag is in the air. Alan Brannon tops on the board in qualifying earlier today, grabbing that lead from the 15 to Potter. Wilson to the 65, having trouble holding that car down. Those wheels are turned so hard to the left, and he drops back several spots. Kent, the 1C, he moves up into 3rd as the leaders come by for lap number 1 in our semi-late main event this afternoon. Going to be Brannon, the leader. Potter in 2nd spot, quickly battling on the outside. Kent, he goes top shelf. He's up in the outer berm. And that allows Brady Neff in the 30 to sneak down underneath and grab that number 3 position. 89 to Josh Baumgartner. He'll make up the top 5 as the leaders work off of turn number 4. A pair of 2-car battles for 1st and for 3rd right now. And they're all trying to hook up and see if they can get single file as they work it back into 1 and 2. Number 4 about to go on the board. Brannon holding off the efforts of Potter, stretches it out by a few car lengths. Meanwhile, it's Neff in the 30. He's been on the charge. Brady started on the inside of row number 3. He's moved up a couple of spots, got around Kent moments ago. Wilson in the 65. He's rebounded to get back up into the number 5 position. 89 to Baumgartner right now holding on to 6. Walters back in 7th as the leaders come by to complete the 3rd of today's 15-lap main event. Leaders off in that 4th corner as lap number 6 goes on the board. Brannon's got the lead. Potter keeping him honest. Only a couple of car lengths separation between the two. While Neff and Kent have the home battle back there for 3rd. There's some 5 to 10 car lengths back in that 3rd and 4th position. Wilson holding on to 5th. Baumgartner holding on to the number 6 position. As we come by lap number 7 about to be concluded here in this afternoon's semi-late main event.
Definitely going to miss on that machine.
So far, the 11 of Alan Brannon has led from the outset. Rick Potter, the outside pole sitter in the 15 in 2nd spot. Brady Neff in the 30, started on the inside of row number 3. He's moved up to 3rd. 1C of Steve Kent, the top 4. And that will put the 89 of Josh Baumgartner back up into the top 5. Lights out 7 of our 15 in the books in semi-late action this afternoon. Brannon and Potter back from the front row as we get set for the 2nd half of our 15-lap semi-late main event. Brannon grabs the lead again. Potter in the 2nd. Kent trying to rebound, get around Brady Neff and reclaim that 3rd spot. They've got a good battle for that. Tight nose to tail. Pretty much front 4 spots. Baumgartner in the 89 and problems for Brannon. He went high up the banking. more out there on the racetrack, and that brings the caution out.
All right, drivers, go ahead and pull off the track. Drivers, you can pull off the track.
All right, lights back out. 7 laps complete when the caution and eventual red came out for the showers. Thanks to Brian Dooms and his crew. Everybody gets everything dialed back in as quickly as possible. Brandon in the 11, he was the leader. Potter in the 15, second. The 30 of Neff, the 1C of Kent. And the 89 being driven by Josh Bumbarger. They are the top 5. We get set to get back to green and get set for halfway here in tonight's semi-late main event. Late Model Sportsman drivers, be getting ready. Your feature event is next. Green back out as we resume after our brief rain delay. Going to be Neff looking to the inside. Potter momentarily slides up the banky, and that opens up the door for Steve Kent. He's got the momentum down the back straightaway to the inside for that battle for third. They'll remain side by side off turn number 4. And could be Neff winning the high side battle. Up into third. Kent fourth. Bumbarger right now in the top 5. Brandon and Potter, they are 1-2 with a couple of car lengths separation between the two as halfway went on the board that time by. Late Model Sportsman drivers to the staging area for your main event. Late Model Sportsman drivers to the staging area for your main event, please. '89, a Bumbarger raising that left wheel through the corners, and here comes Potter, coming to life, and the door gets slammed shut. Ran in a racing room on the back straightaway. Brandon in the 11 with a car length advantage. Neff and Kent only 3 car lengths back in third and fourth as they come back. 5 laps to go here in tonight's semi-late main event. A little bit of rain, and of course it changes the track dramatically for a lot of drivers on their setups, and Potter's come back to life a little bit more, putting more pressure on Brandon as we get to the final 4 circuits of tonight's semi-late event. Opener for the semi-lates here at Hagerstown. Neff and Kent remain a very tight third and fourth. Pair of 2-car battles, first and third, as it has been the case most of this 15-lap event. Bumbarger, the 89, still back in the number 5 spot. McQuaid, the 3D, is in 6th. Going to be Evan Faust in 7th. Danny Walters holding on to 8th as they come back for lap number 12. Brandon trying to protect that low side. Potter, middle groove. He stays a car length back. Gets a better bite off of turn number 2. Closes up a little bit more. Meanwhile, behind him, Kent back down to the inside. He and Neff remain side by side in that ongoing battle for third as they come back. 2 laps to go here in tonight's semi-late event. Brandon down low, now drifts the car up high, up the banking off of turn number 2. And Neff and Kent slowly are closing in on those front 2 machines. Good 4-car battle could be developing as they come back for the white flag. Time running out. Brandon brings the 11 back to the stripe. Kent again looking to the inside of Neff. He's been chewing away down bottom. Can't find a way around him as those two have had a very good battle. And again, it's going to be Kent with a good run off the bottom corner. Off at turn number 2, they'll drag race down into turn number 3. Brandon and Potter, a solid 1-2. Battle for third continues on. Off that 4th turn, Alan Brennan will check in as the opening day semi-late winner over the 15 of Rick Potter, the 30 of Brady Neff, the 1C of Steve Kent, and the 89. That'll be Josh Bumbarger. They make up the top 5 in the opener here at Hagerstown for semi-late drivers. Late Model Sportsman drivers to the staging area. Late Model Sportsman to the staging area. Your 20-lap main event coming up next. Well, it took a little longer than expected with a little interruption halfway through the event, but in the end, great four-car battle, and a great battle for that lead down to the very end of the event. Rick Potter put pressure on, Braden F., as well as Steve Kent. They were all in the battle. Alan Brannon checking in for the opening day win here at Hagerstown in the semi-late division. Top qualifier earlier today, but had to earn it the entire way with that 15 in his tire tracks as he comes away with the 15-lap feature event victory. Late Model Sportsman's lining up, and as they are, give it up for Alan Brannon, your opening day semi-late winner here at the Hagerstown Speedway. Well, congratulations on a good victory. I'm telling you, Rick Potter wasn't giving you a whole lot to deal with there. He kept you honest the whole way.
I kept hearing him on the outside there. We got a little bit of work to do on this car.
Well, what changed so much for you, or did anything change for you? Turn here so Albert and everybody can see you. What changed for you, or if any, from the rain delay until once you guys came out on the racetrack? Any for you?
The track had a little more bite in it when we come back out. Other than that, about the same.
Will we see you a lot this year, or a little bit more often?
We're going to race a little bit this year. We'll see.
Okay, well, very good way to start a new season. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, Alan Brannon checking in as a semi-late winner of the opener today here at Hagerstown. Well, 1 year ago, 9 different drivers found their way to victory lane in Late Model Sportsman action. Tonight, a couple of drivers that won a year ago, they'll be in the field, including Kyle Lear, who leads us to the green flag here in tonight's 20-lap Late Model Sportsman main. And it'll be Ryan Zook from the outside of row number 1, grabbing that lead. Zekman goes way high, out of shape, gathers it back up. Part of a 3-wide battle further outside the top 5. Here comes DJ Myers down to the inside likewise. Back for lap 1, Zook. Winless a year ago, but runner-up in the points. Trying to get that monkey off his back right off the bat. Lear will be second, going to be Booz in third. Breeden in the 14 Ford. Zekman trying to rebound. He's got Garmin to his inside, down the back straightaway in the battle for 5th. That Ford driver is single file after that. 2x2 racing. Garmin leads that charge in 5th. Zekman back there. DJ Myers, Kenny Yoder, all having a good battle. Following in the 8H and then 16 of Clinton Hirsch. Everybody, good cars, all trying to fight their way back up in the top 5. 3 quick laps of 20 on the board. Zook by about 5 car lengths over Kyle Lear. And right now in control of this event, Booz another 10 back in the number 3 spot. On his heels, the 14 of Cody Breeden. 11 of Jackson Garmin by his lonesome for the moment. Here comes Zekman to the number 2, trying to rebound as we mentioned. Car a little out of shape a couple laps ago. And he's got trouble behind him. Yoder and Myers side by side in that battle for the number 7 spot. Shooting away on the 28Z. Down to a couple of car lengths separation between those two. Ryan Zook running bottom of the racetrack. Lear just about a groove higher as they come off turn number 4. Swinging wide. Here comes Kyle Lear grabbing the lead from Zook here on lap number 6. Hard to keep that 151 in the rear view mirror. And Kyle Lear once in front checks out 3, 4, 5 car lengths down the back straightaway. Booz in the B2 remains in third. Going to be Breeden 4th, Garmin 5th. DJ Myers has now worked his way up into the number 6 spot. Dan Zekman back in 7th. Clinton Hirsch in 8th. Kenny Yoder holding on to 9th. And the 8H of Taylor Farlane rounding out the top 10 here at lap number 7. Panel right now, you have to go out the top 5 and about a half a straightaway back from your front 5 cars. That's where Jackson Garmin following heavy pressure from the 72 of DJ Myers. He's going to try to swing it wide to the outside off turn number 2. But again, Garmin's got that low side momentum off that second turn. They'll stay drag race style down into turn 3 and 4. Zeckman, Hirsch, Yoder, and also the 8. Right behind him, as Kyle Lear continues to open up a lead. It's about 5 to 6 car lengths. We close in on halfway. 10 in the books, 10 to go in this afternoon's Late Model Sportsman Series season opener. The lead looked like he was going to check out, and right now slowly he is edging out a little bit more of a lead each lap, but not walking the dog like we thought he might after he made that good move around Ryan Zook, the 28Z, trying to keep it well within his sights. 12 laps complete here in tonight's Late Model Sportsman main. B2 of Brian Booz remains in third position. Right now 14 of Cody Breeden had a very solid run back and forth. As the leaders now begin to hit some back markers. Lear to the outside of Eric Cronies down in turn 3 and 4. He's got the 000. Pat McNeil next in line as they come back for the 13th circuit. Crate Late Models for your main event to the staging area. Crate Late Model drivers for your main event to the staging area, please. McNeil almost turns it sideways right in front of your leader as Lear tries to slip around the 000 to the outside. And he'll be able to do it, but McNeil sliding up the banking. Here comes Zook, and Lear able to escape it. Now Zook's got to go to the inside of McNeil. That closed the gap up just a little bit. Now to about 3 to 4 car length separation between turn 3 and 4. 5 laps to go this time by. B2 of Brian Booz had also enabled them to close up on the leaders a little bit. There's still some distance. Pat McNeil's lap car in between the top 2 and third place. Still a 14 of Breeden holding on to the number 4 position. Top 5 made up by the 70J of DJ Myers as they come back for the 16th circuit. Crate Late Models for your main event to the staging area. Crate Late Models for your main event to the staging area, please. 17 circuits for Kyle Lear, the 2-time winner a year ago in the 151 machine, coming in 4th in the Late Model Series points. Sean Shoemaker, the champion a year ago, but a tight battle between he, Ryan Zook, and Wesley Bonebrake. And it ended up with Shoemaker coming away with the victory. Shoemaker also did not score a victory last season either. Consistency was the name of the game, and for Ryan Zook, although he'd like to be one position better, he is starting off with another consistent year in Late Model Sportsman action and still well within 5 car lengths, but 2 laps to go that time by. 19 of Denny Atherton, maybe one more lap car the leaders will have to deal with as they work back in turn 3 and 4. Big flag in the air this time by. Leaders headed off into 1 and 2. Atherton up in the high groove, going to be Lear down bottom. Zook in his tire tracks, but still 5-6 car lengths behind, following the same groove. And Lear will come upon the Atherton machine. He'll be right down to the guardrails in turn 3 and 4. Atherton giving him plenty of racing room. 2 times last year. He already checks in for his first. It's Kyle Lear taking the Late Model Sportsman season opener here at Hagerstown. 28C Ryan Zook, your number 2 man in points a year ago. Right back on the horse. He's in second spot. The B2 of Brian Booz. 2-time Crate Late Model winner a year ago. The Late Model Sportsman's and into third. 14 of Cody Breeden winds up 4th. And DJ Myers and that 70J rounding out the top 5 here in tonight's Late Model Sportsman main event.
Again, Crate Late Models to the staging area, please.
Being set for their 20-lapper, and there he is, Kyle Lear, your Late Model Sportsman winner. Always a hard worker, always a man doing his homework, and always a man that never surprises us. We always see a great move out on the racetrack. Take me through those first few laps. When Zook got that initial lead and you found a way outside of off of turn number 4.
Well, I saw Potter working the top in that race before me, and I knew the top was going to be there for us. And you know, Zook got a good start off of 4, and you know, he knows me into 1, and he took my lane, which is fine. You know, I mean, nothing, no harm, no foul. But I didn't let him ride, and I moved up and just started burning that middle back end for me, and then the speed just came.
How was the track for you? I know once rain comes, sometimes that can really work to a driver's advantage. It gets a little bit more bite into it. How was it for you out there?
I've been here a long time. I've seen a lot of rainstorms, and you know, you can't help Mother Nature. Sometimes it helps us, sometimes it hurts us. The racetrack's phenomenal. If anything, it helped the racetrack because it ran all the marbles in, and it allowed that cop to come in like it needed to.
Well, you know, straight to victory in Hagerstown or anywhere else you go, but it always has got to feel very good, no matter how many wins they have in the bank from year to year, to start the season off in such a good spot.
I don't think we've ever claimed an opening day at Hagerstown. A couple years ago, we got Winchester, but it's special to win at this place. This place has been the capital, and it always will be the capital.
Who would you like to thank, Tom?
Well, first and foremost, Ricky Knight and his wife came up from, he used to race at Natural Bridge. He came up from Washington Knight. My crew, Bob, Chris, my cousin Scott and his boy Hayden's here. Warren, he's in Vegas. My car owner, Ray Cigarelli, I can't say enough about what that guy does for me and allows me to do on and off the racetrack. Me and Gene Conley, Kurt Zimmerman, Craig and Patty Valencia, they've been huge supporters of me. Bobby Wall, Boulevard Collision, Jim Stevens, JDS. You know, that guy's always a phone call away and is willing to help me whenever. Bill Funk at Science Design, always keeping my car looking good. Junior, JJ Martin Mediation, and Pat McNeil. Them guys are always there to help me out when I'm in a pickle.
Well, I got to say one thing. When you mentioned a lot of those people that are helping you, and I remember a lot of them from last year, these are drivers that were very accomplished in their time of racing as well. So you got a pretty good A-team behind you.
Yeah, we run deep in history here, and you know, and they're always there to bail me out.
Kyle, congratulations, bud.
Thank you, Kyle. I want to thank all the fans for coming out. I know it's a little brutal today, and the track prep. You know, Brian always does a phenomenal job, but like I said, the track never came apart today, and it was pretty good.
All right, Kyle Lear checking in. Victory number 1 in Late Model Sportsman's. More to come here in 2025. Very impressive field of great late models getting set to go. This is the Booze Brothers Performance Great Late Models as we get set for another 20 laps of racing in the first of 9 races for this class for 2025. Chip Bowie and Brayton Anderson lead us off at turn 4. And Brayton Anderson with the turn number 2. Splitting the difference as they come in. Sweeney on the low side, Brandon high side, and the 137 of Brandon with a line off turn number 4. And damage to the blue machine. A little bit of sheet metal dangling from that right rear. As he drops back, Trayton Lee goes to his inside. He's battling for 6th. Anderson was able to hold on and fell a little bit better. He's holding on to 3rd right now. Brandon back to the straight. Going to be Sweeney in 2nd. Anderson 3rd. Trevor Collins in the 72 now up in the 5th. And the 33 of Jacob at the top 5. And Collins not done. He's chewing away on that left rear quarter panel of Brayton Anderson. He goes to the inside, down into turn 3 and 4. Quickly stares at number 3 spot as they put 3 laps on the board. Smell in the top 10 right now would be 6. Trayton Lee trying to get to the inside of Jacob Witt. He'll be successful there. Jared Edwards meanwhile trying to get around Chip Bowie. He'll put the 43 up into 7. Bowie back in 8th. And 12th.
Yellow, stay high in 4, stay high in 4. Green flag anytime after the striped pole in 3 and 4.
All right, Brandon impressive with an outside move off turn 4 to grab the lead in the victory in the heat race. He's trying to do the same thing here in the feature event. A little bit tougher. Everybody's playing. Right now, to go to the inside, Trevor Collins trying to see if he can grab the number 1 spot down to the bottom of the racetrack. Going to be Brandon up to the high side. Collins slides up and right in behind him. Jacob with the 33. Very good racer. He's down to the inside of Sweeney. Grabs third for the moment. 25 to Anderson. Makes up the top 5. 5 of 20 are in the books. Top 2 secure. Going to be a couple of car lengths separation. Then the battle is on. Here comes Anderson back to the inside. As he tries to make the 3-wide battle with Witt and Sweeney. He'll back off, and it looks like Witt's going to the inside to get third, but he'll slide and bobble a little bit. That gives Sweeney some life to hold on to 4th position. Anderson holding on to 3rd. Going to be Edwards looking on back in 6th spot. Mason Booz in 7th. Followed by the run of Dylan High holding on to the 8th position. Noah Burnell. He has not had a good start to the day, but he is trying to get up in that top 10, so he's rebounding rather nicely. Great battle going on for 3rd. Here comes Anderson back to the inside. And a clear to Tevin Brennan, the 137, fended off the efforts of Trevor Collins. He begins to open that advantage up as we put 8 laps on the board when they come back to the stripe this time. With the 33, middle groove, he'll hold on to 3rd. Anderson will get through the bound from Sweeney. Jared Edwards about 5 car lengths back in the 6th position. Mason Booz in 7th. Dylan High, Noah Burnell. And the rebound by the 2-team Triton lead that puts him back up into the top 10. Just won't go away, whether it's 3 cars or 2, and now Wade Anderson still trying in vain to get around the 33 on Jacob Witt. Following separation as they go single file and 1 and 2. They have stretched out a little advantage over Sweeney by about 3 or 4 car lengths, and then the 43 of Edwards as halfway goes on the board this time for Devin Brennan in the 137. Things settling down just a little bit. The biggest battle was 3rd. Jacob Witt exercising about a 2 to 3 car length advantage, starting to stretch it out. And just as we say that, here comes Anderson back to try and close that gap. Pit stops for your main event to the staging area. Pit stop drivers for your main event to the staging area, please. Half-turn advantage for Brennan, and if it stays green, much like Late Model Sportsman, the leaders right in some of the back markers in the field. And bounce into that 2D, maybe the first car on the 137 of Brennan may encounter down the back straightaway. 12 laps complete that time by. And once again, the battle for 3rd, getting back up. Anderson has a good run this time. He's down low off of 2, and that is a good launching pad for drivers here. He's on the inside of Witt as they work it back into 3 and 4, and Anderson secures that 3rd spot. To go this time by as Devin Brennan continues to work driving very nicely. They're giving him the room. He's working the high side, getting around the 11 of McBee. Trevor Collins now still 1 lap car separating those 2 drivers. Anderson to the 25 now has gotten away from Witt. His car's working better. Witt's fleeting with the 40 of Sweeney making up the top 5. Down the back straightaway goes Devin Brennan. Trevor Collins meanwhile under James McBee, but it's almost a half straightaway advantage for the 137 machine as 17 laps go on the board this time by. 25 of Braden Anderson clearly in 3rd now. position. The 43 of Jared Edwards still back in 6th. Dylan High in 7th. Mason Booz in 8th. Billy Burnell 9th. And Trayton Lee, the top 10. But 2 laps to go, and Brandon comes back to the stripe. Still some lap traffic in some of those cars we mentioned in the tail end of the top 10. Maybe cars at the 137 may encounter, as he is right there, and 3 of them, 8th, 9th, and 10th, almost 3 wide as he comes across the straight. Brandon's got one of the lap car to deal with. That being the 27 of Kyle Upperman, but he has got a low jam in front of him. And Trevor Collins trying to pedal hard, but he's still got a good distance to catch him. And right now, Brandon being very careful through turn 3 and 4. As he goes underneath the Upperman machine, he's still on a lap traffic, but not a problem. And for the Late Model event victory. Trevor Collins in the 72, the secret Delaware driver, coming up in 2nd. 25, Braden Anderson winds up in 3rd. And in the end, going back to the street, looks like the 33 of Jacob Book just edged out the 40S of Scott Sweeney.
So, point number tonight, the Brandon family doing very well. The 137 of Devin Brandon, and once again, like Late Model Sportsman, but even tougher this
Holding off the 72 of Trevor Collins in the midst of lap traffic. Give it up for Devin Brennan, your great Late Model feature winner this evening. Oh, I got to ask him, because you had the best seat in the house coming off turn number 2 on that initial lap. Tell me what you saw when you saw that front row. They looked like they were literally locked together.
Yeah, they got locked together there, and I wasn't sure if 25 was going to get off the 33 and come into me, but I just went for it.
Well, it was a 4-wide battle. I don't know if you saw Scott. He was down below, and it was 4 wide at one point down the back straightaway. But this car is working very well. It worked in the heat race during other different conditions, obviously, with the sun out. A little bit drier, but it looks like it even got better as the rain came and things went up.
Oh yeah, me, Dink, and my dad have been working hard on this car, and it's showing off now.
Good looking field of great late models for the opener. Trevor Collins here, obviously Boyd East Jr. unfortunately having his problems. Starting to run points again this year for the late models, but it says a lot to see. We know the Late Model Sportsmen have been the staple here for many years and carrying a lot of good cars, but great to see a lot of good crates here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, and thank all my sponsors, Larry Royston, my mom and dad, Coppell Graphics, AB Classics, Penske by JDS, just Jackson, my brother, my girlfriend, everybody, I got to thank them all.
Well, you couldn't let Alan out to you, could you?
No, I had to get one too.
All right, the Brandon's winning. The mic. K3, Nathaniel Yonker, leading us from the front row as we get set to go green. In the books here in our Pure Stock main event, and K3, the 2024 track champion, right now holding that advantage. 31 Nathaniel Yonker right on his heels. Reed again, a 4-time winner and the Hub City National winner a year ago. Yonker a 1-time winner in 24. He's there. 5-car length separation between the two. Tyler Fisher in the 32F, the opening day winner a year ago, Randy Lindenberg, and the 62 of Dylan Beavers. They are the top 5. Leaders come back, 3 in the books this time by. number 4 on the board this time, Bonnie. And Yonker again back down to the inside. But Reed still has the preferred line down at turn number 1 and 2. Yonker right there on his back bumper. 32 F. Fisher, Lindenberg, Beavers, and then the 32 Robert Wilson. Also trying to get up in that top 5 as well. Thinking about the high side as K3 has that bottom side covered, and now a 2-car length advantage, 5 laps of the 15 complete. After that, second spot, think at third, half a straightaway back, but it's a log jam. It's going to be Fisher, Lindenberg, followed by Beavers, and then Wilson as they come back for lap number 6. Lindenberg trying to use the outside off that second turn, and they work to his advantage. He'll pop up into third spot, but he's got a turn to catch the front 2 as they come back for lap number 7. And right now the 80 K3 beginning up in that advantage up. About 5-car length separation with Yonker down to the bottom side likewise in second spot. Now Beavers, as we mentioned, just a plethora of bad luck last year, but the 62 looking very good on the heels of the 32 of Tyler Fisher. Another driver that finished high up in the points, but still didn't secure a victory, but very close to doing it. Beavers is right there. He's hugging the guardrail down off turn number 4. Halfway this time by, 8 in the book, so we begin the second half on that 15-lap pure stock main event. Leaders back in turn 3 and 4 as they work around the 77 of Bryson Furbo. He gives them racing room on the low side. And Reed fishtails a little bit off that second dumping at fourth turn. That gives Yonker a chance to close a couple of car lengths up, 5 laps to go here in this evening's pure stock finale. 17 of Randy Lindenberg. All by his lonesome in that number 3 spot. Dylan Beavers chewing away on Tyler Fisher trying to get fourth. 32 of Robert Wilson rounding out the top 5. Lap number 11 on the board as once again Yonker trying to remount a challenge. Blew out of sorts as he came off turn 4 and lost a spot or 2. Separation. Have your leaders heading back into 1-2 turn. Lindenberg, Fisher, Beavers, Wilson, and also the 20. Bradley Benton out of Duncansville, Pennsylvania. He's right up there in the battle as well as the leaders head down into turn number 3 and 4. Lindenberg works the low side of a lap machine. Everybody else nose to tail as they come back. 2 laps to go here in tonight's pure stock finale. Machine, or I should say the Bryson Furbo machine, probably been one of those drivers as the white flag comes out. K3, as you mentioned, during the redraw, going to be missing a little bit of time. Got knee replacement surgery. Blake was going to be in the car, but nonetheless, blue and black number 8 has been a staple here in Hagerstown Speedway and in victory lane. So right now, he's trying to secure that first of the season, and indeed will. As your defending pure stock champion, K3 takes the opener tonight here in Hagerstown. The 31 of Nathaniel Yonker will come out in second spot. Third will be the opening day winner from a year ago, the 17 of Randy Lindenberg, the 32 of Tyler Fisher, and the 62 of Dylan Beavers. be your top 5.
Well, fans, that will wrap it up for our racing here. We thank you so very much for not only being here, but enduring our little bit of a rain shower. Our thanks out to Brian Jones and his crew for working very diligently to get the track right back in shape. And thank you for coming back out and enjoying the races. We hope you did.
Well, we wrap up our opener here at Hagerstown Speedway with T3 finding himself in a very familiar position 4 times a year ago, which included the Hub City National Pure Stock version. And this afternoon, check it in. Everybody else skating in Utah. Knee replacement coming, but he put the knee right to the pedal or to the foot and did it once again. Good battle with Nathaniel Younger, always a good driver to battle with, and coming away with his first Pure Stock victory of the 2025 season. There he is, folks, as you're leaving tonight. Give it up for Keith Reed, our Pure Stock winner this afternoon at Hagerstown. Oh, you act like that bothers you when you get out of the car. It don't bother you, does it? No, then it don't bother you when you get out of the car, does it?
It's good.
Hey, you've been down this road before with Nathaniel. Very good battling with you two guys. It's always fun to watch the two of you battle hard.
Well, I like Daniel, and he gave me a little fender there on the inside, and I thought, well, I'm going to have to drop her down a little bit, and it still stuck. I mean, it was pretty locked down tonight, so hey, that old car still got it in it.
Absolutely, the old girl's doing it. Any changes you had to make once the rain showers came through after you guys were done with qualifying, or everything pretty much you kept it the way it was?
Well, Clint made good calls on the car, and we pretty much kept it. You know, we figured it was still going to get slick. You know, it's still a daytime race, but the rain shower didn't hurt us.
Now, what's your timeline? I know we talked during the redraw. What's the timeline? How many more times are good to see it before something else has to happen?
This week and probably next week, and then you'll get a full dose of Late.
All right. Well, Keith, as always, you do a fantastic job. Good to see you. Very good, clean racing out there. Great job with Nathaniel. Congrats on victory number 1. And best of luck. I'm sure we're going to be talking before that happens, but we're with you on that one. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. And I promise you, the next time oysters happen, I'm going to invite you, okay?
I appreciate that. I'll have an empty belly when you call.
All right. Keith Reed wraps up our day here at Hagerstown, our Pure Stock winner in the season opener.